Yeah, that was pretty obvious. And this is the reason why I said in their bios that Futaba's Confidant temporarily stops being available while Sojiro's Mementos mission is active. Yep, Ishiki, same last name as Wakaba, obviously. And this is why I said this one's a little special. This is a Joker solo Mementos mission, and you actually do it without officially visiting Mementos. It takes up its own individual afternoon. But it still counts as a request, so you'll still need to complete this to get the All Requests Thieves' Den award. And because this is a Joker solo Mementos request, this one it can be a little tricky, since if Joker goes down, you immediately, get a game over. Oh no. Well, I mean, I suppose it will distract the police until we change Saya's heart if they're getting flooded with false confessions and false reports.
You know...
Kawakami's almost telling the player, oh yeah, there won't be any downtime for the rest of the game, by the way, so, yep, plot's getting intense now. And yeah, they're hammering it even more. Yeah, you might want to finish Maruki's Confidant now. It's important to note, though, that his rank 10 happens automatically on the day he leaves if you got to rank 9 beforehand. So you actually only need to get him to leave enough time to get him to rank 9. Now, it's not quite a whole year. We'd have to be in April for it to be a whole year, but we're pretty much at the end of the, you know, main year. Yes, it was Ryuji. Like, have you just been forgetting that you go to Shujin? Restless or something. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, yeah, it feels like everyone's our enemy now. Well, Yusuke doesn't even go to this school, so, makes sense. Also, for some reason, Futaba answers to the name Makoto now. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Like, sometimes I'll look at something and be like, oh, wait, there's like 10 messages here. Okay, then. Because sometimes I have things muted because I don't like them going off while I'm recording. Important to remain calm, as Kaze would say. So, okay, let's talk to these girls of rumor right now, just because I want to. Yes, there could be one lurking right up in your face right now. But okay then. We are going to be doing this special Mementos mission for Sojiro today. But first, we're going to prepare a little in the Velvet Room. What I would recommend for this mission is having a persona that resists physical, but is not immune to physical. This guy actually has very good AI for just a random mini-boss, and he will use an almighty attack against you if you're immune to physical. So I looked through everything that I had available, and of the ones that I could find that I can fuse out of what I have, it seems like Legion was my best option.
Not terrible, but not impressive.
Legion resists physical and is of an okay level, and I have a good Confidant bonus on it. It's not an alarm, but unfortunately I don't quite have the fortune ability that lets you force an alarm for a lot of money, which I could probably use right now. Charge Mataru Kaja, and I probably need Medea Rama as well.
It will receive a great my.
It's funny how we encountered this thing's palette swap Coronzon first. I love how it says, "We are Legion." Although I think the actual quote was, "For we are many." feel like I don't really need Evil Smile. Don't need that either. Aegon is... Oh, that's in like 3 levels though. Aegon is potentially decent. But I think I can work with this.
You change your mind. Are you finished?
I am going to start on Valkyrie though for Attack Master. And I think I'll take the Tiki Keychain for Divine Grace, just so I have maximum healing from Medea Rama. I would obviously recommend saving before doing this. Time consuming as in it will use the afternoon.
Thanks.
Well, this is kind of violating our whole unanimous decision policy, but we're mostly doing this as a favor for Futaba. Always sunny in a rich man's world. Yeah, we don't even get to figure out where in Mementos this guy is. It's just a generic red area. I feel like there should be like a ding every time this guy says money. So he's yet another one of these people who's obsessed with gambling. Kind of fitting, given that we're doing the Casino Palace next. So despite turning into Giro Mikala, this guy does not repel physical and gun. He actually is completely neutral when it comes to resistances, so anything will work on him, but he has no weaknesses either.
This one's strong. Be careful.
Oh hey, we actually have Futaba giving the navigation here entirely herself too. So also, he has fast heal, and that's mostly to prevent you from just cheating this with ailments. So yeah, overall, this guy has got some pretty good AI and a pretty good moveset. Need to make sure that I switch over to Legion though. Right, let's see. I'm gonna try and see how much damage Zeodyne does to him. Oh hey, got shock on him. But yeah, he instantly recovers. So yeah, as long as you equip a physical resisting persona, then he's not going to use his almighty attack. If he does use his almighty attack, it can get quite dangerous. Thing is though, he can still potentially crit you, so I'm going to play things very safe and use Medea Rama right now. Because if he crits you, then things have a tendency to go very, very south very quickly. Wow, he is getting very vulnerable to shock right now. It's almost like my Zeodyne is Thunder Rain from Persona 3. I haven't said this before, but I love the animation of Zeodyne in this game. I love the animation of all of the high-tier skills. Oh, I was hoping that would be, I mean, at least it can keep me attacking rather than healing, but I was really hoping that would be, you know, here come the buffs. Or Ultra Charge, that would have been fun too. It seems like he always gets shot from this.
Nice, Joker. Just at the last
So, I was prepared for this and I am making it look easy. Trust me, this fight is actually very dangerous if you're not prepared for it. Especially if, like I said, you go in with physical immunity, trying to be, you know, smart there. He will hit you with Negadola for doing that. And that's not a fun time.
Seriously?
Yeah, just jealous of your genius sister, I guess.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, one of those situations, huh? TV tropes would call this acquired situational narcissism. Yeah, then he just got hooked on feeling, you know, powerful and worthy, and then that's basically how they get you when it comes to gambling. They want you to keep doing it because, again, the more that you do it, the statistically more likely you are to lose. It's just how they run a business. They have to make the games even slightly weighted towards the house. Otherwise, you know, they lose And with that, both Sojiro and Futaba's Confidants are back on the table. So that's a pretty important one to complete as soon as possible.
Ah, you're back.
Bored? Yeah, we just beat up the psyche of your uncle in the form of an elephant. Okay, Sojiro's got time, and his Confidant is unblocked, but tonight we're actually going to be going for Fortune. So yeah, the Liberal Co-Prosperity Party is a reference to the actual Liberal Democratic Party of Japan, which have almost won every single election since the 1950s. And also, contrary to having the name Liberal in their name, they are extremely conservative. That guy clearly hasn't heard of the concept of being wrongfully accused of something, but you know what? While I'm here, I'm going to talk to the drunk guy. Because he's been fun. Oh no, the police have caught on to him too! Is this one of the corrupt cops who's for the conspiracy and have realized that he knows too much? I've found you! You're fancy funny. Or am I? Officer, I believe I just won the Jillian Yen reward. I caught my fancy. Okay. Who are you talking to? There's no one over there. Well, good, he's not actually looking in our direction or anything. What are these guys saying? And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, because I actually knew people whose parents really did this, and I just, yeah, think that that's a horrible way to parent children. We actually recouped a pretty good amount of money from Futaba's uncle, but, do I have Fortune? I do, good. Since Atropos was one of my actual battle personas back in the last palace. It feels like it's been ages ago since I did Okumura's palace, but it hasn't really been that long. And so finally, we're going to find out the effects of us beating the chairman, which happened so long ago too. That was just before the beach, wasn't it? Or just after? I think it was just after, actually. It was just before Hawaii. I had absolutely no idea. Or do I? Yeah, this guy was probably a pretty big criminal as far as the Mementos targets go. Yes, and he promised that he'd never do a Shurapipi again, and that he doesn't even know what the heck Munansho is. Yeah, it wouldn't be because of luck in this case, although it's mostly because of us. Yeah, I still think this should have been Fool. Unless she's using a variant deck, like the one that has Jester instead of Fool. Yeah, that classic phony psychic technique. Making observations just based on things that are quite obvious and then playing it off as a prediction. Sadly, this is true. Well, we can be, but I'm not playing him that way. So this, what's coming up is kind of, you'll see. Are you interested in older women? This is actually one of her romance flags, and it's one of the few that people knew was a romance flag since the game first came out. But yeah, you have to say this, and this might have actually been the reason why, of all of the confidants with romance flags, Chihaya is the most commonly missed, because maybe some people weren't really willing to say that answer. At the same time, though, Chihaya is, to me, the least awkward of the adult romances, because in my head, she's a very young adult at most. I mean, that doesn't, you know, make it okay in a lot of regions, but in my head, she's like no older than, she's like 20 maybe, 21 at most. I don't really think that she's that old. So yeah, now we get this, which would have been useful to have before doing that Mementos mission, but I'm glad I got rid of that on the first possible day we can.
But
Yeah. Also, they're probably going to be demanding their money back from all of these, small installments of 100,000 yen, or your family will die. Yeah, in this case, we have to say, yeah, that it was, her. It's good that she's, you know, gonna get to actually taking care of them and making sure they're all okay with their lives. She is kind of doing a sort of therapy with, what she does.
hey!
Here we are on the train once more, and I'm very ahead of the guide on reading, so instead of finishing Call Me Chief, which we did ages ago, we're gonna start reading Reckless Casanova, about the guy who says, "Hell yeah, I like older women." This is the memoirs of Gary Stu from my Persona 3 playthrough. He somehow had time to write this entire book.
Whoa.
I feel like Morgana's probably interested in this. Are there any tips on wooing ladies who wear cat costumes? Not quite finished this yet, but after one more reading session, we'll get done with this, and then we'll be able to buy the technical book. Also, coming up is, I think, one of my favorite class questions in the game, but first...
Good morning.
Oh, hi there.
Speaking of which,
I guess it's the first time you approached us at the train station after becoming a party member. So, this is maybe another one of those wink wink nudge nudge things. Yeah, you might also want to work on Akechi's confidant at this point as well. There are a lot of confidants that have deadlines coming up soon.
That's disappointing.
Sup with the whack PlayStation sup. Oh yes, terminology that was hip 30 years ago, or even more possibly.
Let's see how you're doing.
But yeah, so many people think that Thieves' Cant is this really cool Dungeons & Dragons thing, but no, it's basically just incredibly Cockney slang. Like seriously, if you look up what Thieves' Cant actually is, also I love that, it does mean a share of stolen goods, but if you look up what Thieves' Cant actually was, it's pretty hilarious. Demand your whack. Yeah, I think it was in Horrible Histories that I saw a lot of that, like, actual thieves' cant stuff. There was, like, I think they did a poem that was written, like, almost entirely in, I think it was actually called, like, Stuart slang more. I don't know if it was a kind of thieves' cant, but it used things like, I know that, I think dub is picklocks, Panam is bread, old horse is a type of salted meat, cage is prison, but that one's pretty obvious, belly timber is food, a beak is police officer or constable, bludging a beak is dodging attention from police. But yeah, it doesn't really sound as special when you realize that, again, it's basically just really, really Cockney slang. Oh, great, we're forced into the hideout.
Oh, Mako-chan.
And we're getting another one of these. So I will insert this at the start of me entering the palace for the first time. And yeah, going to the hideout took us into the perfect position to talk to Futaba. Aha, liquid mercury restocked. Yeah, we'll be fine. So I have had an idea recently about how I can make up time on this one. Though it is admittedly gonna be a little bit painful for this playthrough particularly. Be okay without you around. But before that, I'm gonna invite you to my room. Okay, so somehow you went to elementary school with Corin's child. Well, we already knew that. Well, whatever school she went to sucks almost as much as Shujin does. I mean, sometimes people can bond over both being outcasts like this. I mean, this reminds me a lot of Arn and Shiho. Yeah, that's the curse of having such a good memory. This kind of thing. It does happen. Yeah, it is hard if you just want to help someone who's going through that, but then you only found out about it because you looked at their private diary. I mean, given how observant Wakaba was, though, I feel like she probably would have realized what was, like, actually going on. Yeah, the fact she kept writing it every month probably, yeah, shows that she did know. Sometimes it can be hard going back to someone after so long and apologizing, especially if the relationship ended on a sour note like this. Okay, so now we're basically gonna, have 2 favors for Futaba under our belts. Okay, now I have Ultra Charge, that's good. Alright. Didn't even have that before. Yeah, this is fun, but, sometimes it can activate at really bad times. Hey, time to go and dox my old school friend.
Okay?
Wasn't there like a really old, like, bad game called Cheetah Man that has a cult following? I mean, yeah, sometimes trying to reach out and contact someone that you haven't talked to in a long time can be scary like this. Yeah, here you have to kind of choose the tough option. Well, I mean, research is okay, just don't, you know... well, I mean, this is Futaba, of course she's gonna end up finding personal information on her.
Ah, you're back.
Hey, hey!
Oh, I thought for a second that we were gonna get a text conversation with the Phantom Thieves. But no. Speaking of the Phantom Thieves, though... Also, speaking of news lines that instantly make people change the channel...
Hey!
Isn't the Eye of the Storm the place where it's really calm? Yeah, actually, what is the voting age in Japan? Is it 18 like a lot of places? Because I know that the drinking age is pretty high there, as is the driving age. Oh yes, I thought the rental girlfriend subplot would be progressing. Also, yeah, renting her for 10 years, that would be really, really awkward. Yeah, this whole situation's probably starting to get a little bit, yeah, sketchy. Also, yeah, all the Halloween decorations have gone back. And finally, I can talk to these two again. Oh, well, I mean, at least, they'll be prepared for him being sick. Okay, they're not even asking about what the next trade is going to be. But yeah, also, actually, wait, the drinking age is higher in America than Japan. I'm just used to it. In Australia, it's 18, which is quite low compared to a lot of countries. But I probably don't have justice, do I? And I can fill out a little bit more of my compendium and get a justice persona at the same time for tonight's Confidant. Because I don't really need this Legion anymore, and I don't need this Thunderbird.
Select this.
Internal Hypnosis plus Mataru Kaja will actually increase the duration of that on the whole party. Plus Charge is a nice skill for you to have. And I'll take Zeodine too.
It will receive now for a rebirth.
And now, yeah, the plot lock on Akechi's rank 7 is because he needs to have joined the party for this rank. And yeah, you need level 4 knowledge for this. So now it's time for the fated rematch.
Hey.
Yes, it lets us increase our technical rank, although we don't need that anymore. Or, you know, just jump it across other balls, or curve it miraculously like Joker did.
Also,
Yeah, I suppose so, though there is some evidence of us being connected to the change of heart targets if you're really looking for it. That's the thing though, in these perfect crime stories, there always tends to be something that the criminal overlooks that results in conclusive evidence that ties things to them. Because yeah, like Akechi is saying, real life is complicated. There's always something the criminal never planned for. We're still talking about billiards now, right?
not bad. How about this?
In the hot springs again? Or no? No, just outside.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and you've been saying it's around the other Phantom Thieves now too. Well, I mean, at least, you know, Joker and Akechi don't have to keep their friendship private anymore, I feel like now. I mean, yeah, but as is usually the case in these heist stories, oftentimes the, you know, police and the thieves are working towards the same goal in the end. They're usually working towards taking down the same villains. Yes, it will. Or will it? I mean, you know, the offer's always open. What, become a detective?
How about this?
Now here, this is actually an important question. Saying you're my rival gets you something later on.
Leave it to me.
I mean, Akechi is a fairly decent party member. And now, yes, he can actually unlock these, though he gets Hurry's Hand Recovery pretty late, I feel. It's good that we're doing this before officially going to the palace, though. Yes, now I will face you using my Chunin Byo Eye!
Good night, then.
I wonder if Akechi could be considered a kind of Chunin Byo. He's sort of a Justice Chunin Byo at this point. Yes, maybe one day we will be able to face him using our dominant hand. You really were terrible at first. Well, it's because you started with my opposite element starter. I mean, actually no rivals. I mean, when you think about it though, that's kind of true. Joker has a curse-focused starting persona, and Akechi has a blessed-focused one that's weak to curse, though unlike Pokemon, they're both weak to each other, rather than one having a clear advantage. And plus, you know, Joker wears dark clothes, Akechi has light clothes. It's kind of funny that I'm only just noticing a few of these parallels now. I mean, I noticed the clothes contrast, obviously, but the persona thing I didn't quite realize until I thought about it.